Doing a series all week on risky behaviors among our junior high kids, and today we're talking about sex and how experimentation is starting younger and younger.
Yeah, the research is almost unbelievable, and experts say our culture is playing a big part in that, and as parents, we're letting it happen.
You want to make out?
My first kiss went a little like this and twist.
Glee is a hit show, watched by teens and middle schoolers alike. But experts say exposure to messages like this are part of what's changing attitudes about sex in middle school.
In middle school, it's possible that kids are having sex.
Absolutely. And in Philadelphia, a health authority has started offering to send free condoms to kids as young as 11. Take Control Philadelphia says they hate having to offer condoms to tweens, but they say it's reality.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Another reality, psychologists say the Clinton-Lewinsky affair has changed attitudes about oral sex. More younger teens are trying it because they don't see it as real sex. And while some parents think they know what's going on,
my sixth grader, she tends to be more, tells me everything that goes on in school.
Many kids say adults have no clue.
Joining us now to discuss what to do about this, family therapist Dr. Larry Curry and Dr. Eric Siegel, adolescent medicine specialist at Children's Hospital. Thanks to both of you for coming. Dr. Curry, let's talk about what we just saw in this story that says that we're putting too many things out there that are glorifying sex and kids are learning about it too young.
Well, yeah, you know, it's the whole culture of that sex is okay, and in some ways, yes, but by and large in our culture and our society, we have a lot of media that kind of builds it up. We see television, we see movies, and kids seem, what's wrong with it? Why can't I do it? So younger and younger, it seems more and more appealing because it's plastered everywhere. It's a part of our society.
All right, and Dr. Siegel, your take on it?
Well, I think it's definitely an issue with middle school kids and having sex, whether it's intercourse or oral sex. But the statistics are really pretty low, even though we start to hear sensational statistics. So maybe 10% to 15% of 8th graders have experimented with sex. So it's significant, but it's not ubiquitous. So it's not like every kid is having sex.
When we talk about, you know, kids, what kids do know, what they don't know, let's start at square one with parents. What's the most important thing a mom or a dad needs to do starting in middle school, 5th or 6th grade, to lay the groundwork for a educated conversation and a preventative one?
Well, understanding that we are a sexual society and that we're defined by our sex, males and females, and to not be afraid to have the conversation you need to have with your child. I think parents tend to shy away, and kind of was my closing comment on it was that basically I think that if parents don't talk to their children, their friends will talk to them about it. So they've got to make that conversation.
Yeah.
You got to do it.
Well, and as Dr. Curry, you said yesterday, when it comes to drugs, do it right away. Start it early. Start these conversations in elementary school. Do you both agree with that?
Yes, absolutely. You want to be upfront because girls are starting puberty sometimes at 8, 9 years old, so they have to really be able to understand their bodies, what they're going through, and you want them to know that they can come to their parents and talk about it.
You know, ironically, my 4th grader, they're having the girl talk, and I had to sign the permission slip. It was happening today, and I went over the whole thing. I said, I want to be the one. I'm going to tell you all of that, and then they can tell you too at school, because I wanted to be the one to explain that.
And the sad thing about it is we don't have the boy talk. The boys are going through a physical change as well, and it's embarrassing. It's not okay. What do? I can't control my body, and that's just as devastating to them as it is for the girls when they start their menstrual cycle as well.
Yeah.
And they are getting it in pop culture. I know my 13-year-old niece wanted to sing a song at competition, and it was Rihanna's S&M. Yes. And the lyrics are outrageous for it. So if parents think that kids aren't learning about it, they are being naive, aren't they?
Very much so, very much so. We were kind of saying that, you know, we've got this new post-baby boom generation where sex is really wide open. You can talk about, do whatever, because their parents role model that. Their grandparents or great-grandparents, it was really taboo. You don't talk about it. So we've got really kind of a mixture of generations coming together.
Yeah.
And you bring up the issue of culture, and you had that discussion about the television, and we absolutely say to be able to supervise media, no TV in the bedroom. The reason is, and there have been some very good studies that have shown that intensity of media exposure lowers the age of sexual debut and sexual experimentation.
Wow.
So there's one thing you can change starting today.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Except for this show. Our show is perfectly safe for kids of all ages. You guys, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's important we talk about it before the problems start.
We appreciate your time. All right.
Coming up next, how about this?